Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. So instead of doing a traditional technique, what I wanted to share with you was something that I just decided to do as far as my dies. So I originally set them up like this. I had certain companies come with the magnet piece for the dies already, in the packaging. And the other ones, I just put in these small, what would you call them? Let me pull my Avery Elle out. Storage pockets, and they're good for stamps or dies, but I was using the smaller ones for the dies. And in the boutique, we had these long magnetic sheets. I forget exactly how many you get in the package, but it's quite a number of sheets. I want to say it's something like 8 or 10 sheets. And what I did was I cut them up to fit inside the Avery Elle storage packet, which is 5 1/8 by 5 inch. So I made it 4 7/8 by 5 inches. So it fills up more of the square than my other ones that like come in the package from MFT and stuff like that. But I made it cover the entire package so that my bigger dies would fill it. You know what I mean? I didn't want part of it hanging off of the magnet sheet. I wanted everything to be on it and secure. So those are the two different ways that I stored my dies, and I wanted to share a few other things with you. I did have some like smaller pieces, which I did put some of my smaller dies on. So I'm going to show you real quick what I got to make these. So Avery Elle has a lot of different bags. I want to say they have the one that's more 5 by 7, which is good for your regular stamps. The large one, which I was just showing you there, which is the 6 3/4 by 9 3/8 packet. And those work perfect for the Ulta New stamps because they're so big. So I just take the inner packaging and the stamp and I just put it right into the pocket. And then I'll label it down the line and it's done. Now the small magnet piece that I had, I just put the cupcake die on top of that and then put it behind the stamp. So that way the stamp set and the die are always together. And I'm going to show you one more example. So I have the Adore You stamp set and dies. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to go ahead and I cut a longer strip for this one because there's a lot more dies on it. But the best part is you don't have to keep the long piece or the piece that the dies were connected to that Ulta New shipped. Once you put them on the magnet sheet, you don't need that piece anymore. So I'm just going to really quickly just transfer all my pieces over. And I'm pretty much keeping them the same way that they were on the sheet of paper that it came with from the manufacturer. I'm just moving it to the magnet strip that I actually cut out. And then the last 3 pieces are just the leaf dies. And that piece I'm going to throw away because I already know that this is the die set that goes with the stamp set. So I don't have to like keep that piece for any reason, So once I get the stamp set out, I'm going to grab my large die pocket. And then once I put that in, I'm just going to slide the dies right in the back. Boom. And it's done. And it's all together. I found that that works the best, especially with the stamp sets, because if they're separate, I'm probably never going to pull out the dies. A lot of times I grab the stamps and I want to play with them, make my, do my coloring and stuff, and to have the dies right on the back is just very convenient. So for the small pockets, I wanted to show you real quick. This is the one that I cut down to the 5 by 4 7/8. And it fits. It's kind of tight in one direction, but if you turn it, it'll slide right in, and that's when on the side that's cut to 4 7/8. And I'm just going to add these stamps real quick, or the dies, excuse me, because this one's not connected to a stamp set. So all I'm going to do is just get the glue off the back which I'm rubbing with my thumbs, and it was too sticky. It wouldn't come off, so I just grabbed my little eraser to get some of the stickiness off, and all I'm gonna do is attach it to the magnet piece there, and that's it. And then it just slides right inside. And what I like to do, only because sometimes I like to get stuff, you know, moved over and then I'll go back and label, I do cut just a piece of the packaging so that way I know who it's from, what's it called, and I can go back through and just sit and label one day. Because even though, you know, I don't know, there's just something about the labeling that makes it look nice and clean and neat. So I always like to do that. And then same thing with these smaller pieces that I had left over. I put a lot of my smaller dies on them. So my thought process is I'm going to take the same storage pocket, and instead of just putting one of them in, I'm going to put them in front to back. So I'm going to use two pieces. So I have like the tree and another, like I think it's like a bauble on one side, and then on the other side is going to be the saying and the snowflakes. So they're both Christmas themed, but they're all in the pocket together because they don't coordinate with anything else, but you know, it just saves room. And then I'll do the same thing with the butterfly and the flower die. And right now I'm looking for my La La Land, the other bow die that I had. I knew I had two. One's plain and one has stitching, or like it has like a design on it. So I'm going to put it into the same pocket with the butterfly. Now on here, I made a mistake. When I went to put it in the pocket, it kind of just fell apart because I didn't have it going in correctly. And then behind it, I'm going to put the individual leaves. And I'll label these on the top. So even though you won't be able to see the magnet all the way at the top of the pocket, it'll still be labeled. So it'll fit in with all the others. And I can still look through and figure out which one I need to use or which one I'm looking for. So that's that. And then I think there's one more I wanted to show you. I had another square one that I wanted to put this heart die on, and a lot of these, they're still attached to each other because of the way they come through or from the manufacturer. And I don't take them apart, I just take them out of the packaging, attach it to the magnet piece, and put it inside. Okay, so for the last part of this video, I'm going to take my Lawn Fawn die. Now this one is really big, but what I want to do is just show you guys how easy it is to cut. I cut this using my guillotine cutter, but if you don't have one, you can use your regular Fiskars cutter. Just as easy. It cuts right through, and it was so simple. I just would make sure that you have another blade on hand in case it just dulls it if you have to cut up a lot of it. So for this one, I could have kept it attached to the backing that it came in, but I know as I start to use it, I'm going to be cutting it apart and all the pieces are going to get loose. And really what I want the magnets to just kind of keep everything, including the small pieces, all together. So I'm going to trim down the packaging from Lawn Fawn, and then I'm going to get it inside the pocket here, and then all I'm going to do is slide in our magnet piece, and it just makes it very clean and simple. And now that can go into my storage once I figure out exactly how I'm going to store these dies, and it just keeps them all neat, you know. So, and it works for anything. If you have stamp sets, I use the pockets for those. I've even used these pockets for some of my embossing folders, and embossing folders really don't need to be stored like that, but I like the way it looks. So thank you guys for joining me today. On these close-ups, you're going to see, you know, all the packaging when all of it's finished. I guess the finished looks. But if you enjoyed this, please just hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. At the end of the video, there will be a picture of me. If you click on it, that will subscribe you to my channel. And please share. And if you guys have any comments, just leave them down below. Alright, I'll see you with our next video, which will be this Friday, our sketch video. See you guys later.